Good day, grade 7 learners. I'm Teacher Jeff, and welcome to my virtual class for TLE Cookery grade 7. For quarter 1, module 3, lesson 1, our title is Carry Out Measurements and Calculations in a Required Task. Our objectives are: number 1, self-check and correct numerical computations for accuracy. Identify and convert systems of measurement according to recipe requirements. Measure ingredients according to recipe requirement. Let's have a pre-test. Match the abbreviations in column A to column B. Letter A, number 1, TBSB. Number 2, TSB. Number 3, G. Number 4, OZ. And number 5, K. I'll give you 5 numbers to finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Moving forward, let's look at the answers. Number 1, TBSB stands for tablespoon. Number 2, TSB stands for teaspoon. Number 3, G stands for grams. 4, OZ stands for ounces. And 5, K stands for kilo. These abbreviations are very useful, especially in our topic for today. Okay, let's move on. Are you ready to learn something about mensuration and calculation? You know what? In cooking, they say that real chefs don't measure. But that is a myth, because real chefs mostly do measure. And when they don't, it is because they have been cooking for a long time or they master it already. The primary reason why you should measure is because you will learn about cooking better if you know how to measure. As you are measuring, it is a great idea to begin learning what is in each measured ingredient. Now, moving forward, let's learn some kitchen terms and abbreviations. Here we have 2 columns for abbreviation and kitchen term. For the abbreviation column, we have TBSB or uppercase T. It stands for tablespoon. TSB or lowercase t stands for teaspoon. G stands for grams. OZ stands for ounces. LB stands for pounds. PD stands for pint. C stands for cups. K stands for kilos. And QD stands for quarts. Moving on, some of the other abbreviations are also written in the next table. We have C, just like what I've mentioned, cup. Gal for gallon. Degrees F for degrees Fahrenheit. Degrees C is for degrees Celsius. Med or MED stands for medium. SEC or sec stands for second. MIN or mean stands for minimum. HR stands for hour. And SQ stands for square. These are some of the abbreviations and kitchen terms that we often heard or read in recipes when we are preparing foods. Okay, moving on, let's talk about conversion of weights and measurements. Let's move on. Let's talk about first about weight. Here we have two units of measurement or two systems of measurement. One is imperial and one is metric. We can also say English system or metric system. For every 1/2 ounce, just like what we have talked about a while ago, OZ stands for ounce. For every 1/2 ounce, there is an equivalent amount in metric system, and that is 15 grams. 1 ounce is 29 grams. 2 ounces is 57 grams. 3 ounces is equivalent to 85 grams. 4 ounces is equivalent to 113 grams. 5 ounces is equivalent to 141 grams. And 6 ounces is equivalent to 170 grams. Here in this table, we are just converting from imperial system to metric system. Now, let's move forward. Let's try to see other conversions. And now, let's talk about volume. 1 cup is equivalent to 8 ounces. And 8 ounce is equivalent to 240 ml. And 240 ml is equivalent to 16 tablespoons. Moving on, we have here other sets of measurements. And here are their conversions for ounce, milliliters, and tablespoon. Now, what if we have 2 cups? How are we going to convert it to ounces? So we just simply multiply 2 cups by 8 and we will have 16 ounces. What if we want to get milliliters? We're going to multiply 2 by 240 and we'll have 480 milliliters. And if we're going to talk about tablespoon, 1 cup is 16, so it means 2 cups. 2 multiplied by 16, we will have 32 tablespoons. Okay, and when we're going to talk about water, okay, 2 cups multiplied by 16 is 32 tablespoons of water. Okay, moving forward, another one is temperature. So we also must need to know how to convert temperatures from degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. Just like what is written on the table. Okay, in this column you will see all the listed value for Fahrenheit, and here you can see all the listed value for degrees Celsius. For 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the equivalent temperature in Celsius is 37 degrees Celsius. For 150 degrees Fahrenheit, it is 65 degrees Celsius. And now let's discuss this. When the temperature is from 37 degrees Celsius up to 121 degrees Celsius, it is considered very slow. And if it's 150 degrees, it is slow. For 160 degrees, it is moderately slow, as well as 180 degrees. For 190 degrees up to 200, it is moderate. And for 200 to 220 degrees Celsius, 220 degrees Celsius and 230 degrees Celsius, it is moderately hot. And if it's 260 degrees Celsius up to 274 degrees Celsius and 288 degrees Celsius, it is considered hot. Okay, that's all about temperature. When you want to convert degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius, you can look at this table. Okay. Now, let's discuss the procedures on how to measure ingredients. You already know how to convert. You already know the units of measurement. Now, let's proceed to the discussion on how to measure ingredients correctly. Okay, for dry ingredients. Now, this is how to measure the dry ingredients such as rice and flour. Look at this picture over here. What you need to do is to fill the measuring cup with a scooper or another cup until overflowing. After that, you need to level up by sweeping with a metal spatula or with a straight flat side of a knife. Okay, that's how you measure rice and flour. Okay, you're gonna be using a measuring cup over here. Now, moving forward, how about the sifted flour? Sifted flour means you're going to use a sifter. Okay, the reason why you need a sifter is to remove the lumps from your flour. Okay, what you need to do first is you put measured flour in a sifter. Okay, like this. And make sure you have a bowl under the sifter, or else your flour will scatter on your table. Okay, well, after that, you need to top the sifter at the side, okay, using your palm. Okay, your palm. Okay, you're gonna tap this so that you can let the sifted flour go down, okay, to the mixing bowl. All right, so moving forward, how about the sugar, okay, or other confectionery? Okay, just like the flour, you need to sift it first, okay, so you can take out the lumps. Okay, this is how to measure. Scoop the spoon into measuring cup like that. Do not pack and tap the sugar. Okay, do not pack and tap the sugar down. Let it overflow the measuring cup. Okay, and level up with spatula. So no need to tap it at the side. Okay, just let it overflow and then use a spatula again, or a plain, or the plain backside of the knife. Okay. Now, moving forward, how about the brown sugar? Okay, so the brown sugar just packed into just enough to hold its shape. Okay, now you're going to apply a little amount of pressure so that it will hold its shape when you pour it down. Okay, after you press it, you just need to use again a spatula or a plain side, we use the plain side of the knife to level up the excess brown sugar, and then voila, you can remove it. Okay, and use the brown sugar. Now what about the butter? Okay, this is an example of a butter. Now butter can easily be divided in cups measurement. All right, so 1 bar of butter is equivalent to 1 cup of it. Okay, remember 1 bar like this is equivalent to 1 cup. So basically 1/4 cup is equivalent to 1/4 of this. If you will divide it into 4, first cut it into half, then cut the half into half again. So you will have 1/4 cup or 1/4 butter. They are almost the same. Okay, after that, you can put the batter at room temperature for a couple of minutes before using, alright, to soften its texture and cut easily portioned butter to its desired measurement. Okay, after you remove the butter from the refrigerator or the freezer, okay, it's too hard at first, so it's very difficult for you to chop it down to divide it into pieces, so you must leave it first at a room temperature for a couple of minutes so it will be easily divided. Okay, so moving on, we also measure dry ingredients like fruits and vegetables in kilos and grams. Okay, so just like what we have learned a while ago, K stands for kilos and grams, G stands for grams. Okay, here when we see units such as kilos and grams, we're talking about weight. And to measure the weight, we don't have to use measuring cups or any other tablespoon like that, or we can't use them. All right, so we are going to use a weighing scale for that one so that we can actually get the accurate amount that we need. Okay, now for the weighing scale, we have 2 kinds of weighing scale. Okay, the digital one and the manual one. Okay, so for the manual scales, we have the hands over here. Okay, you're just going to put here, okay, the things you're going to weigh, or the things that you're going to weigh. And then for the digital, okay, so here you can see the numbers over here. Okay, we have an LED monitor here, or LCD monitor here, wherein you can see the value of the weight of your ingredient. Okay, so this is how you use a weighing scale, okay, for measuring the weight of dry ingredients like fruits and vegetables. Moving forward, how about for liquid ingredients? Okay, we're done with dry ingredients, okay, like powder and vegetables. So let's talk about liquid ingredients. So what are the types of liquid ingredients? So it may be just like this: water, milk, what else, juice, broth. Okay, those are liquids. Now the process is, first put the liquid cup on the top of the table, alright, just like this one, and adjust yourself to a position where your eyes are level in the glass side lines. Okay, just like this little girl over here. Okay, she is looking at the guidelines also. Okay, she has position herself in a manner her eyes are parallel to the are in line to the guidelines. Okay, so after that, okay, pour the liquid with your desired measurement. Okay, now as you can see here, you can see the guidelines over here. So what is written here are the units of measurement when it comes to liquid. Okay, so we talk about volumes over here, so milliliters, ounce, so that you can use this one. Okay, so for example, you want 100 milliliters of water, so you can use this, okay, to measure. So okay, the amount of water that you need for cooking or any other ingredients. Okay, moving on. All right, so we're through with the conversions of measurements, and then we're through with the process on how to measure. Now, there are times that when we are cooking, some of the ingredients aren't available, or sometimes we forgot to buy them from the supermarket, and we tend to lose hope that we cannot cook the best meal that we should cook. But don't worry, because we have what we call substitution of ingredients. Okay, so when you talk about substitution of ingredients, when the ingredients that you want is not available, so you can replace them. Okay, substitution also means replacement. Okay, now here is a table wherein, okay, you will be able to see the things that you need, the ingredients that you need over here. When you need apple spice in this amount, for example, you need 1 teaspoon of apple spice and you don't have it actually, what you can do is to substitute it by mixing these ingredients. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon plus 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg plus 1/8 teaspoon of cardamom. Alright, this is the substitution for apple spice. Okay, now take note. So you must be careful, you must be mindful about the measurement. 1/2 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon, 1/8 teaspoon for 1 teaspoon of apple spice. If you over mix it with other ingredients, so the taste might be a little different. Okay, there might be some difference in the taste. Of course, you're not using the original ingredient, but basically it will be more different. Okay, if you over mix it. Okay, over mix the measurement of the ingredients. Okay, now what if we need baking powder at a measurement of 1 teaspoon? So you can use 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar plus 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Now what if you need 1 cup of broth or soup? Broth are being used for soup and other cooking recipe. Okay, now if you need 1 cup of broth, you can use 1 cup of hot water plus 1 teaspoon bouillon granules or 1 bouillon cube. Okay, bouillon cubes such as Knorr chicken cube, beef cubes, pork cubes. Okay, those are the examples of bouillon cube. Now what if you want buttermilk? So if you want 1 cup, so you can use 1 tablespoon lemon juice or vinegar plus enough milk to measure 1 cup. Okay, let it stand for 5 minutes, or 1 cup plain yogurt. Oh, if you don't have buttermilk, you can have 1 cup of plain yogurt, which you can buy from the groceries. Okay, Cajun seasoning. If you need 1 teaspoon of it, so you can mix 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper plus 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme, 1/4 teaspoon of dried basil, and 1 minced garlic. Okay, so aside from those substitutions, we have more actually, and we have it there on your modules. Okay, now aside from the one that I mentioned, okay, aside from the one that I mentioned previously, we also have sour cream 1 cup if you need 1/2 of it, so you can replace it with 1 cup of plain yogurt. Sugar 1 cup if you don't have it, so you can use 1 cup of packed brown sugar, or 2 cups of sifted confectioner's sugar. Okay, these are, when you say confectioner's sugars, these are powdered sugars. Okay, they are very fine, like powder. Okay, tomato juice, if you want tomato juice 1 cup, so you can mix 1 cup of tomato sauce plus 1 cup of water, so you will have 1 cup of tomato juice. If you want 2 cups of tomato sauce, so you need 3/4 cups of tomato paste plus 1 cup of water. And if you need yeast, okay, for baking, so you need 1 package or 1/4 ounce of active dry yeast. So what you need to do is you just have to have 5/8 ounce of compressed cake yeast. All right, so those are the ingredients that you can use to substitute the ingredients that are not readily available when you are cooking. Okay, and when you forgot it, you have forgot it when you went to the market, you didn't buy that one, so you can use this alternatives. Okay, so moving forward, let's have an assessment about the things that we have discussed for today. Okay, question number 1. What degree of Fahrenheit is considered as a very low temperature? Okay, 1, 2, 3. The correct answer is letter A, 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Big amount of dry ingredients like flour and sugar are measured through what kind of measuring tool? A, liquid cup, B, measuring cup, C, measuring spoon, or D, spoon. What's your answer? If it's B, you are correct. Measuring cup. Number 3, why we need to see powdered ingredients like sugar, flour, and A, to take out lumps, B, to make the texture smooth, C, to get accurate measurement, or D, none of the above. What's your answer? Ta-da! The correct answer is to take out lumps. Now you know how to convert the units of measurement, you know how to compute, okay, and you also know how, or you now know how, or the procedures, how you are going to measure the ingredients, and also you now know how to substitute those ingredients that are not present. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and thanks for watching. Hope you learned something for today's lesson. Okay, thanks a lot guys, and see you again next time. This is your teacher Jeff saying goodbye and keep safe.